So welcome one and all to a picturesque evening here, a clear night, all the ingredients for a showcase game that the passionate crowd demands. I'm Peter Drury and it's a pleasure to be alongside Jim Beglin.
Cheers Peter, it's a privilege to be here, it really is.
Red and white everywhere you look, the atmosphere created by the folk of Porto Alegre providing a real celebratory assault on the senses. It is a unique part, this, of Brazil's southern coast, and the appreciation of the game here is pretty much universal. We are just getting started.
Well, this 4-4-2 formation is often used in the modern era defensively, but it used to be the gold standard of formations a generation or so ago, Peter, and it does allow the fullbacks to play.
Loose ball now, and there's a chase on to retrieve it. And he looked every bit the assured keeper there.
Roberto Baggio really must be thinking what he has to do to score there.
Bullet! Went with his head, but couldn't steer it in. Not the best distribution from the keeper. Now it's Pelé. Bullet. And a chance! That is decidedly lacking.
There's the golden nugget, that is Paul Scholes, one of the game's unsung heroes.
And nothing seems to change him. All that adulation, he's the same bloke.
Agreed, but on a world level, he ought to have higher status. But he's never been one for hugging the limelight. He just loves being the quiet assassin.
Out of play for a throw. Baresi. If you have just joined us, well, you've missed no goals. Pass somewhat off target. And it's Thiago. Well, the idea was a good one. The execution of it, not quite so.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to get enough on the pass, Peter, did he?
Roberto Baggio. Baggio will not want to lose out here, not against this opponent. Oh, that's a very decent... And Hullet! Goal! Atletico Paranaense! Atletico Paranaense have fired themselves in front.
Well, I guess this ought to make things interesting, Peter. No doubt the opposition will now be forced to play a more open and riskier game.
Scholes. Referee has just said play on. Yaya Toure. Not the most accurate pass. And it's Scholes. Threads one in.
Atletico Paranaense really should be happy to let this half run out now and go again second.
Hazard. Can he get on the end of this?
Foram indicados 2 minutos de acréscimo.
Oh, easy pickings there. The whistle's gone, and that's it for the first half. A very combative, competitive half with just the one decisive moment. It's been compelling stuff. Atletico Paranaense come in leading by just the odd goal.
I think on the whole the team linked up very well and has been organised, hence their position. They can afford to be a little braver with the ball, I think, something they'll be told many times, I'm sure, during the interval.
Atletico Paranaense looking solid, if not too much more at half-time. It's 1-0. So straight into the second half. Atletico Paranaense currently ahead by the smallest of margins. Pele can so cleverly bypass the press. And this is Hullet. Chance for a shot! An attempt which, in hindsight, was probably just beyond him.
Yeah, typically for him, that was the furthest thing from easy, but it still didn't stop him having a go.
Team still separated by the game's only goal. Yaya Toure. And the two sides separated by the game's only breakthrough moment to this point, and the score is 1-0. And it's Ribery. Now it's Roberto Baggio. Oh, he's certainly caught him there. It's a free kick. Well, that looks like a final warning. Still no card. Not much doubt about who's going to take this one. An opportunity then to pull clear here. Oh, he's given that plenty, but no.
Yeah, he may have snatched at that a bit, even though it was quite close.
That's good running with the ball. Oh, now here's an interesting matchup.
That's exactly what they need to keep doing. Carry on plugging away, and eventually you might just get that little break.
This is a really front-footed approach.
Well, the question now is whether they can sustain it.
Ribery is one whose deliveries we all know about. Thiago trying to keep this in. Messi. He won't be happy with that one. Your impression so far, Jim?
Well, I'm inclined to feel that if I was in that dugout, I'd want
Pele. He's having a shot! And that would have been game, set and match.
Pele has reacted in utter shock here. For him, the keeper has pulled off the impossible.
Corner number 2 then.
Substituição no time do Internacional. Camisa 8, camisa 19. Deixando o campo para a entrada de camisa 5, camisa 3.
Now can he find a finish?
Substituição.
That's brave goalkeeping, really decisive.
I just thought he showed a little too much of it to the keeper, but I think he read the situation very well. Atletico Paranense surely have to be commended for their drive and desire. Most teams would be taking the easier defensive route by now.
Just 5 minutes remaining now. Rijkaard. Some intricate passing, looking to progress the ball. And he's heaved it away.
Foram indicados
They're
2
back on the ball
minutos de
again.
acréscimo.
And here's Azar. Alexander getting up there! And that's a good finish. They have stolen level at the last. It was wonderfully efficient.
He did so well there, attacking the ball.
And that's it. So it is something for both, but ideal for neither. Both parties having to settle for what they get and hope for better in the weeks ahead. Well, what are your thoughts on today's game then, Jim?
Atletico Paranense can always take more positives from a result like this. Yes, there is some tidying up to do, but some real promise too.
My thanks to Jim. We both wish you a very good evening.